Okay, says I'm live. So hi, you guys. There are a lot of people here already. Hi, Kat. Hi, Terry. Hi, Joan. Barbara. Dawn. Dee Dee. All right, we got peoples here. Thanks for coming, you guys. Yeah, sorry I'm a minute or so late. I forgot to go use the restroom, so I had to hurry real quick and go use it because I don't like to come here when I have to use the restroom. Makes me cranky. It makes me crankier. How about that? So, what's going on around here? It's my birthday week, so that's always fun. And I have not ordered myself anything. I did go. We went to Joplin on Tuesday, and I went to Hobby Lobby because I needed some pencils. Did I tell you guys this? Is this just a week ago? 4 plus 7. Yeah, that was last Tuesday, I guess. Hi, April. Hi, Bossy Butt. Okay, Bossy, that's fine. Go do whatever it is you've got to do. But here, I'm not a control freak, but you're doing it wrong. Try and remember that, would you? Would you? Hi, Christina. Anyway, yeah, it's my birthday week, so I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some blue pencils. They had a few of the ones I needed. So, let's see here. I bought some pencils. And then we walked around the store, which is just dangerous because you end up in the clearance section. And I found these Pilot G-Tech. They're real fine nibs. Normally 20, on sale for 10. So I haven't used them much. I did test them in the Beast, and I think I like them. I think I like them a lot. Hi, Joyce. So that was an absolutely just for the moment, buy them because you want them. Everything I bought was, thanks, Joyce. And I don't, you guys, if you don't have a Hobby Lobby, probably have never looked in the journal section, but they have these, they're plastic covered bullet journals with dot grid. So I got myself an extra one of those, which I needed, like I needed another hole in the head, but I always use them. And then we went into the stamp aisle, so I bought myself 2 sets, and they're only like $2.50. So I can't believe they can sell these for $2.50. Of course, I'm sure they're made in China, but I didn't even look. I just bought them. Yeah, so I bought that. And then what else did I buy? Oh, the only other thing I think I bought was the Illustrated Word of Jesus for Women, which has daily, it's a daily devotional sort of thing. So I've been figuring out what I want to use in this. This has nicer paper. So I'm thinking I might use, excuse me, mild liners or something on them. I don't know. But anyway, so it was fun to go to Hobby Lobby. I haven't been in forever. I might or I might not, Barbara. Pens generally get taken out of their packaging, but I was halfway adulting for you. I did use them, and I did use the stamps. So I tried to adult and failed. How about that? Hi, Lisa. Yeah, that's how I'll label that. I tried, and I failed. When it comes to adulting, don't ever be surprised if I fail at it because I think it's just something I'm not good at. So it's all good. Hi, Belinda. I sent out Happy Mail. Belinda, I'm pretty sure you were on the list. So if you got any Happy Mail from me, raise your hand, speak up. I can't remember now. There was 3 or 4 of them that went out. So anyway, and then these last couple weeks, thanks, Kat. You can get that at Hobby Lobby, that daily devotional thing. You can get that at Hobby Lobby for like $7.79. So it was another spur of the moment. I always look at their books in Hobby Lobby. Sometimes you can find really good deals. So really good deals for things that you don't really need. And then one day last week, I was sitting here and a package showed up, and Dee Dee had called me and said, I sent you something, and there's two of them. I think they're two different kinds. And so I did get the package, and I've been whining the last couple weeks that I had lost my Graph Gear .05 pencil. And look, Dee Dee sent me two, but she thought they were two different, but they're actually two the same. And then I got a birthday package from Cheshire Cat, and she sent me the one that Dee Dee didn't send. Okay, yeah, just look for it. Should be there. So I got another one. This one I did totally adult on. Check it out because I wanted you to see how it's packaged, because you get the Graph Gear. But now that you've seen it, I can open it. So I'm going to open it real quick. The thing I like about Graph Gear, you guys, and they're just another pencil, but get a cool little eraser and some lead. But the Graph Gears, and this one is too, they're weighted so perfectly. I can't describe what it is about Graph Gear, but they are weighted so beautifully. And then the little grippers down here are so nice. I know, you guys are so good. You treat me so good. I don't even know why you do, because I probably don't deserve it. So I don't have a favorite. But this pencil, when it came, I went, oh, that's the pencil. When I first started in printing and drafting and doing business forms and stuff like that, I had a pencil that reminds me so much of this, only it was blue, and it was a Pentel. And I loved that, but when I left my job, of course, I left it with the company. I didn't steal it from them. Hi, Alyssa. But it's the weight of a Graph Gear that is just so nice. So, yeah. So thank you, Dee Dee, and thank you, Kat. You guys are way, way, way too good to me. And now I have plenty of Graph Gears, and I have not found my other one. I know it's got to be around here. I know it's got to be, but as of yet, I don't need to find it now. But thank you, you guys. It was so thoughtful and awesome of you to do that. So now they'll all just sit up here, and if I lose one, I won't even know it. Yep, you guys did really good. I love to get something that I like and I also need. And then later on in the week, and Dee Dee had warned me that she had sent me a birthday present. Didn't know if it would get here before my birthday, but it did. And I'm going to pull out for you guys to see this. I like this poster a lot, and I'm going to make a poster today, only it's going to be different than this. Hi, Rachel. I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy, I will show that thing of yours in just a second. Dee Dee sent me this ginormous box of acrylic markers. And what's really funny is I had been out to look, because she told me, oh, it's going to be delivered today. So I had just gone out and looked. It was getting like 3 in the afternoon or something. And I had just gone out and looked. And then I got a message from Dee Dee. And she had been paying attention. And look, she sent me a photo of my breezeway where the box is sitting there delivered. And when I answered the phone, I was walking out the door, and it was just like, oh, it's here. So they are scrumptious, Belinda. They really are. Check this bad boy out. And Dee Dee, I did go ahead and get in there and reorganize all the pens, and they give you a swatch sheet on here. But when these come, they come in crazy order. They're just shoved in this box. And well, I'm sure there's some method to their madness. Look at this. All those. Yeah, I'm sure there's method to their madness, but it was not satisfying to my brain. So I went ahead and reorganized them in the color order that they belong. Now, some of them I think I got a little bit out of order, but that took a long time. And then I swatched them. And I did do a black line behind each of them so you could kind of see which ones are more opaque than the others. But yeah, it was fun. Saturday, I just sat here and swatched all day. It was a good day in America. Now, today, it's still a good day in America, except that, you guys, it's gotten so darn cold. Oh, this is killing me. I am not liking the cold. It's windy. It is sunny. It did take a long time, but it was okay because I wasn't going to do anything anyway. After I got these, I was just like, that's it. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use these today to make a snark poster. So that's what I'll be using. So I'll leave that there. Move the swatch over here. And then Dorothy sent me a message. Let me see if I can get over here and find it on my phone quickly. You sent that on Instagram, didn't you, Dorothy? Probably Instagram, because I don't do any others. Let me just double check. But she asked if I would show her her stitching, and it's really pretty. There you are, Dorothy. I think this is the one that you sent. Okay, so here's some stitching that Dorothy's been working on. Very nice, Dorothy. Very nice. It's a robin collage. It's got leaves on it and a little bird hanging on a twig. So Ryan says this year we'll get 150 times more snow than usual? Who is Ryan and how the hell does he know? Barbara, she's freezing up there. They got snow, so I need to quit whining, because when I hear that some people are dealing with snow, I need to just cool my jets, because we don't have snow. It's sunny. Yeah. He's the best weatherman in the world. Oh. Hi, Raul. The best weatherman. Oh, I hate that. Maybe we won't down here. I'm not sure where you're at. I mean, I have your address, but I don't know. Yeah, it is. Dorothy's stitching was awesome. Okay, Dee Dee seems to know that Ryan is also the weatherman. Weatherman where? Everyone knows Ryan. Okay, I don't know Ryan. So I guess it sucks to be me, because I have no clue who Ryan is. Is he on the Weather Channel or something? I never turn on the Weather Channel. So, not a competition. I learned how to do it in a class. Okay, Ryan is the man. Okay, so y'all know Ryan. I don't know Ryan. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know Ryan. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is, let me show you quickly. Let me find my phone again. He's the weatherman for the whole USA. Look, Raul's in Spain, and he's saying Ryan is the handsome blonde weatherman. Oh, I feel like I live on another planet right now. For real. Like I'm not even living on the planet. I'm not even, if he knows in Spain, how could I not know that? All right, I'm going to show you something else here too. So the poster that I'm going to do, and I think I've done this before. I've done something like this before. Let me show you. There's a girl on Instagram named Sendoodle, and she uses alcohol inks, and I've done her designs in Hi Cat and Paste. I don't know Ryan either, and I didn't know Spock had a wife. See, that's me too, Cat. I didn't know Spock had a wife. All right, Belinda didn't know. All right, I'm feeling better. All you weather freaks need to quit making fun of us. Anyway, this artist's name is Sendoodle, and she uses alcohol markers, and she's part of the reason I want a set of very vibrant alcohol markers, which I have not bought yet, because I got up in my cupboard and I found some more. Anyway, this would be, oh God, it's not gonna, yeah. Can you see? Her art looks like polished rocks, colorful polished rocks laid out in patterns. And I just love it. There's something really appealing about it. Kimmer's turned you on to Ryan. She knew my weather alerts before I did. Oh my God. I need to pay attention more. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Only I'm not going to use alcohol markers. I've done it with alcohol markers, but I have not done it with acrylic paints. But now that I have this cool set, I know it's so 3D, cat and paste. Oh, you've already gotten there, Bossy. Wow. Anyway, yeah, it's very dimensional, and I can do it with alcohol markers, but I thought, well, I want to play with my acrylic markers, so I'm going to attempt to do that. And with this ginormous set I have now, I should be able to find the, light, medium, dark colors, right? Okay, bye, Bossy. Look up Ryan Hall, y'all. Okay, I guess I will. Maybe he'll tell me if a tornado is headed my way. So I'm going to look at the swatch card, and we're going to pick out some colors. I'll pull you guys down a little bit now, because hopefully this is going to work, right? So I'm going to do my favorite color. I mean, I could do like she did, just a random pattern of colors. Well, which would you guys rather have? I don't care. Or if I pick like a palette of blues, I'll do blue, green, purple if you leave it up to me, because that's what I do. But if you want me to do just a colorful, crazy palette, I'll do that too. Because with all these colors, I should have, yeah. Let's go with the I don't care decision. Yeah, oh, that's right, Dee Dee. I was going to get a water brush out. Let's see if I can find one that actually has some water in it. I don't use my water brushes very much, but I have a bunch. Oh, come on, man. All right. Well, that's a ginormous bad boy. Okay, let's do the smaller. Let's do the medium. Yep, my swatch chart. Yep. It needs to go on the wall, right? Cat and paste. Blue, pink, and purple. Terry's saying do reds. Well, I can't do just reds. I mean, because let's see. I only, of all the colors that there's a limited selection, Terry, is the reds. But look at all the blues, all the greens, quite a few purples. So choose crazy colors of reds. Water brush can be too much. Don't need much water. Okay. All right. Well, let's get a little piece of cardstock out. I think this is the paper that I'm working on. Is that the paper I'm working on today? No, this is the paper I'm working on today. Let's just pick $619, $674. All right, here's the primary colors of reds. Now I could go into pinks too. All right, Terry and Belinda are working against me. Red, yellow, and purple. Those are some weird colors. All right. 674 is definitely going to be the shade color. We're just going to do an experiment here before I spend a bunch of time doing something that I don't really like. All right, so there's the main color. That's not really the good shade color. Hi, Starla. I have a lid in my hand. Oh, for the water brush. I don't know. I think I won't have many reds. All right, we're going with mine, blue, green, purple. Sorry I asked. I'll try something in red later. Because, yeah, I don't have that much red, so I got to put these back in their correct order. All right, so for blues, let's do 822. And the shade for that, I'm going to try 601. Okay. Purple, 651 and 635. That might be a little light. All right, we're not doing that one. Oh, I'm getting these back in the wrong place, you guys. So for the purple, I picked 651. Yeah, that's pretty. And then the let's try 742. Hey, Ruth. Hi, Kathy. Happy birthday to you. And then greens. I like that. Let's do, this is actually kind of turquoise. The greens are a little hard. Let's try 609. That's going to be hard to blend, though. All right, let's see who's bugging me. And I hope these work as well as, okay, so Dee Dee says, make sure and clean your water brush too. The acrylic will ruin it. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Just a plain brush and a little water on the side. I can do that. Because, yeah, I had thought about that I'm going to have to be really careful with the water brush. And they do puke out quite a bit of water, especially these. I'm not a fan of these. These are the Kuretake. And the favorite one I ever had was a Kuretake, but they changed them. And they're not that user-friendly anymore. All right, let me see if I can find a little nail brush here. This one will probably work fine. Let me get some clean water because the water I have has gunk in it. So let me just get a little bit of water. What do I want to put it in? Get a little container. All right. Probably won't need much. We'll see. All right, let's do a little experiment here. I do love about these. There is a ball in there, and you can shake them up. I just shook them up the other day when I was swatching them. This is a set of acrylic markers that Dee Dee sent me for my birthday. I'm going to have to go all the way back out. And there's 120 colors. So, yeah, I have lots to choose from. Now, the acrylic markers dry very matte. So let me pull you guys down for our little experiment here. So I shouldn't have to juice these and prime them too much because I just did that. Okay, I think that's going to work good. But you got to move fast because acrylic dries fast. Yeah, I think I can get those to blend really good. All right, I think that blue combination is going to work. Let's try the green. I have to move fast. That'll work. Yeah, I like the brush tips for sure. I have also got a set of Artistro, and I showed you guys the white and the black Artistro, which I really, really like. But I got them out the other day, and the tips were all clogged, and that kind of annoyed me. So I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering if I should have even made that recommendation because, yeah, I was not impressed. Okay, I'm going to be able to blend these, I think, really good, but it's going to be tedious, and I'm going to have to work kind of slow because I'll do each rock by themselves. Hi, Angie. Add water from that. You can also rub on the plastic. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Dee Dee. That would take me all day. Rub some out on plastic. Okay, let's try that. Just to satisfy Dee Dee. This little pad that I'm going to use came with, it's actually an alcohol marker little doodad that they send with alcohol markers, but I use it just like anything else. Yeah, they will sit there. I guess I could do that for the shading. I might do that. That might speed this process up a little bit. Is Angie already leaving? Oh, you weren't there this morning. Angie, I was very impressed that you went and took food to the funeral home for people who don't have Thanksgiving. I did an extra big donation to the church because they're doing the same thing. So, hey, View. Yeah, it does stay wet. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So let me get some of this out of my way. And I'm just going to start with one color. Okay. And the way I have this planned is this center section is going to be a saying in snark, and then the rocks around it, and then just random rocks. So let me put the other colors aside so I don't grab the wrong one because that would be so typical of me. All right. I think I'm going to I hadn't really thought about how I wanted to do it. I think what I'm going to do You're just going to have to bear with me. Oh, and another thing I got at Hobby Lobby was a new ruler. That's what made the whole thing. I have the 18-inch version of this ruler, but it's kind of cumbersome because I don't have a huge amount of room on my desk. So when I saw the 12-inch there, because I was in the drafting department, because that's where I like to hang out, I thought I should be able to have that if I want it. So it came home with me. If you guys saw my stash of rulers, you would be making so much fun of me that I would even consider buying another ruler. But I will. And if I see another ruler that I want, I'm going to buy it too. This Sharpie is not all that friendly. Thanks, Kat. You do have a heart? Okay, well, we'll put that in this week's newsletter. Angie has a heart. Who knew? I think it's been especially hard because of the government shutdown and stuff, but I think that's going to get resolved. So hopefully everybody can have a nice Thanksgiving. And I am doing Thanksgiving for my family this year. There won't be a huge number of us. I think I figured 8 or 9 adults and 2 kids, so that's doable. Yeah, I'll be good with that. I'm actually looking forward to it. Of all the, and I've said this every year, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So cooking a huge dinner that takes a few days for the family is actually one of my favorite things to do. So, yeah, not unhappy about that at all. And my nephew from Colorado can't come, so yeah, it'll be a pretty small group. Very doable. Very, very doable. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And don't get all crazy. I don't bake pies from scratch. I walk my happy butt into Sam's Club and buy the bakery ones, and they're very delicious. So, hi, Carol. Brenda. So yeah, and that's coming up on us really quick. I can't believe how fast time is going, you guys. It just freaks me out that we're already almost mid-November. I can't even believe October is over. So, and I don't have to be so careful with these lines because if I was working with acrylic, I'd have to be really, really careful and precise because of the transparency. But with acrylic, you don't have to be quite so careful because Smidgy will be coming. My little Smidgeruhoo. Smidge will be coming. And she'll be happy because I'll bet you $100 she misses me. I like to bake sometimes. Like in December, I will be baking a lot because I make a bunch of cookies. And last year they were horrible. I don't know what I did, but even my brother, I was talking to him the other day and I said, Don, I bought when I went shopping on Tuesday, it takes a bunch of flour and butter and stuff like that. So I went ahead and bought a bunch of the butter and stuff like that. And I told my brother, I said, should I attempt cookies this year? Do you think I've just outgrown it? I said, I bought the butter and I can if you want me to. He said, no, you got to do the cookies. So I bought all the stuff to do the cookies. But yeah, I'm not feeling confident. I don't know what I did last year. I honestly don't know. There wasn't one batch of cookies that I went, oh, those are really good. I did really good this year. Not one. And I'm not being real careful with these lines because I'll come back in and clean it up later. In fact, I'm going to get crazy and do it without a oil. without a ruler. They can't be that off, can they? Because the really important part will be at the end when I have to clean it all up. What else have I been doing? Not much. We have been having, however, some really beautiful weather until yesterday. And it got cold. That north wind came. Oh my God, it was cold. So now all I want to do is sit under a heating blanket and drink warm liquids. I'm sure my coffee intake is going to increase enormously. And I just did these lines random places. So the rocks are different sizes. Hi, Joe Jules. Janet, how did Young bond with Robert's? Well, you want me to be honest about Robert's appointment? To be honest, I thought it was an absolute waste of time. But here we are. Nothing good, nothing bad, just I thought it was a waste of time. He didn't order blood, which I thought that's why we were going. But we'll get new blood in March, I think is the next time we go. So yeah, I'm not unhappy we went, but I honestly thought it was a waste of time. That's your old account? That's Joe Lou? Okay, hi Joe Lou. You don't like to cook? See, that's how I am. I cook every day. Every day of my life I cook. And I haven't liked it for years. I mean, I really have not liked cooking for years. But I do it every single day. And one thing I will say, Robert is always so appreciative. For this long line, I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler. Robert is always so appreciative. But to be honest, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of cooking every day. But then when I eat out, I'm always pissed off because it's never as good as I think it should be. So, yeah, it's hard being me. We used to have a German restaurant in town. Cooked the most delicious food. And it wouldn't matter if it was German food, American food, didn't matter. Their food was just always delicious. And I guess they spoiled me because now I am highly critical of restaurant food. And fast food, it just sucks. But sometimes I crave it. You haven't eaten out in like 3 years? Wow. I think it's safer to cook at home too. Hi, Al Sullivan. Well, I live out in the middle of nowhere. And the restaurants that are around here, I'm not overly impressed with. And they're very pricey because it's a resort area. And apparently people who have a lot of money don't mind paying exorbitant prices for crap food. Just saying. So that's part of the reason I'm not going to pay you for garbage food. I'm just not going to do it. So a lot of times I don't have any choice but to cook. But you want to know one of my favorite things? I love when we go to Sam's because I love their hot dogs. It's the only time I ever eat a hot dog, but I love Sam's Club hot dogs. wonder if I got overzealous with this 8x8 size. And this border around the saying, I kind of wanted it to be uniform, but it didn't work out exactly that way. Hi, Sanjan. Hi, Tina. Yeah, that's why we don't eat out, is because we live out here where everything is horrible. And I'm not really sure how these people think they can get away with feeding you freaking garbage. But what are you going to do? The last thing I would ever do to earn money. I mean, and if I needed money, I'm not proud. There's nothing I wouldn't do except for cook in a restaurant. I would never cook for somebody else in a restaurant because you'd end up with customers like me. Costco's hot dogs, yeah, there's just something about those dang hot dogs. Anyway, yeah, you'd have customers like me coming in and eating your garbage food and then going on the internet and talking about how crappy it is. But I haven't said the name of the restaurant, so, but y'all know who you are. One time, I think I told this before, but there was a little restaurant here and it was just convenient. It was less than a quarter mile from the house. It was very convenient. And for the most part, their food was not horrible. It was edible. And they had lunch specials, primarily for the guys who work around here and stuff. And so one day I took my sister-in-law's mother, who had been my mother's best friend. She was down visiting, and so I said, well, why don't you come over and I'll take you to lunch. We went to lunch. We went in there, ordered the lunch special, and I'm not kidding you guys. It was pork chops and mashed potatoes for like $8. Very reasonable price. I couldn't complain about the price. But when they brought the the plates out, the potatoes were like ice cold, the mashed potatoes. I don't know if they'd made them the day before or what and put them in the refrigerator, but they were ice cold, ice cold. Like they literally had just come out of the refrigerator. And so, yeah, I felt really bad that I had taken her to lunch and the food was literally not edible at all. So yeah, and then I come to find out years later the guy who did the cooking, his wife actually owned the restaurant. And I'm going to do the shading later, okay? So well, I'll try this and we'll see. Anyway, and don't worry if I go over the black lines because I'm going to come back in and fix them later. Look how smooth those, and I like it on this paper, so that's good. All right, let's just do it this way quickly. All right, I want the shading on this side. Well, I need to do the black line. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Where'd I put the water? I could definitely blend it out that way. Oh, you guys are too far away. Let me pull you in so you could see. Anyway, the restaurant ended up finally closing. I think their liquor license got pulled or something. Anyway, the restaurant closed. I didn't feel bad because I hadn't gone back there since they served Amber's mother ice cold potatoes. There's the swatch card for this Mamba Jamba set of acrylic markers that Dee Dee sent for my birthday. A pancake breakfast for $20. That's crazy. Pancakes are the cheapest thing you can cook other than, what, pork and beans or something. I don't know. Oh, no. I'm making it'll end up being a small poster. Anyway, so come to find out, and I know a lot of people around, but I don't keep up with people. I just don't care that much, I guess. Well, anyway, we had a big kind of theater, restaurant. I don't know. I saw Merle Haggard there once, if that gives you any idea. But they had a restaurant in there and they had a bunch of stuff. And I never went there other than to see Merle Haggard. But then apparently that guy moved over there and started cooking over there. And people started complaining. And this place had been open since I moved here, pretty near 30 years. Well, this has been probably 5 years ago. Anyway, and people kept saying, have you been to wherever? Like, nah, we don't go out to eat much. And they start complaining about the food all the time. And I'm like, what the heck? Is because they'd always, people had raved about them, They were very pricey. And it was like a dinner. You could go for dinner, theater night, concert night. Just, yeah. Anyway, come to find out, this guy had gone to work over there. And one thing I didn't know when they were out here on the island was he was a raging drunk. And he was cooking. No, he wasn't drunk when I went to see him, Tina. But anyway, this guy who worked at the restaurant was a raging drunk and absolutely ruined that entire business that had been there for like 25 years. People just quit going. So apparently when he was cooking for us and served us ice cold mashed potatoes, he probably was drunk and forgot to cook them. But that was lunchtime. Like dinner, maybe you could kind of see, right? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. He was a drunk. It's funny when you live in a small community. You can follow people around from one catastrophe to another. Because the people who come here for the weekend or just come to golf or whatever, they don't know who the local people are. They wouldn't know them if they met them on the street. But those of us that live here, you hear about these people for years on end. The name of the restaurant was Anna's Bananas. And I can't remember her husband's name. But yeah, they were quite a feature out here on Monkey Island. The problem people make with businesses around here, they think because we live on the lake that everything's just real laid back, And so even if they have hours for their restaurant or whatever, if it's a nice day and they want to go fishing, they just blow that crap off. Well, you can't do that in a community like this. If you tell me you're going to be open at 6 o'clock and I come down there to eat and you're not open, I'm done. You don't get a second chance. And so they're open for one summer. And if you don't make your money in the summer around here, you're done by winter because it's all resort. Alice's restaurant. Yep, her was Anna Banana. And I think they did really good before they opened the bar section of it. It was after they got the liquor license that things kind of went to hell in a handbasket. But before that, her husband didn't cook either. So I hope this turns out as fun as I'm thinking it's gonna. And I might just do half the poster because I don't think I'm going to get it done. I'm already an hour in, running off at the mouth. I'll go ahead and do the top half so you can see the shading and the highlighting. These markers are nice and smooth and juicy. I will say that. They are very juicy. I'm so impatient. I want it done. I want it done now. I think that's why I don't color often. Because if you're going to do it really good, you have to do the time. I want it now. I want it now. We have a thrift store like that too, Joe Lou, that doesn't keep regular hours. Well, I think what happened to them was COVID. It's a Christian thrift store, and everybody who works in there attends one of the Christian churches here in town, and so it had shut down and was keeping real irregular hours, and I think all their volunteers just got busy doing other things because it's been goofed up since COVID, that you can't depend on their hours. You never know when you can go in and make donations. Yeah, it bums me out. They have been, I did talk to the guy a few weeks ago because I cleaned out my closet and took a bunch of stuff in, and they'd published Friday morning was their drop-off time, or donation time. So they were open that morning, and I talked to the guy and I said, what is going on? Why are you guys, like your hours are always so goofed up? He said, we can't find volunteers to come in and man it, which kind of made me feel bad, because all the money does go to help, the needy people around here. And he said, we just can't find people to work regularly. So yeah, that kind of bummed me out. You'll notice I didn't volunteer. It's not my church, actually. But yeah, COVID did a lot of things especially in small communities. Restaurants that closed down, that never reopened, and yep, really hurt small communities, in my humble opinion. All right, and I was just sitting here thinking, I'm going to do some lettering in there. What color do I want the background of that? Maybe I'll do the background in this green, so it'll show up real good. And I'll do the border in blue because I was going to do it all the same color. Is this boring as hell? Truth of the matter is, I just wanted to play with my cool markers. And you can't use them in a color book or anything, because if you color over your lines, you lose your line art. And I just need some indication of where the lines are. I'm going to stop at the border down here. We'll do the top half and then we'll do the bottom half. See how much time I have, since I have a shortened stream here. Nice and juicy. I was gonna get, yeah, they are cat and paste. I mean, I can't even express to you how juicy and yummy they are. I think I'll leave that one. They are juicy. And they cover very evenly. I was using some of the Artistro, I think, the other day, and it could have been the paper. But I don't know if I was moving the acrylic that it was like drying so fast. When I went over it, it would pick up and make little balls, like little tiny balls, head of the pen balls. But it was icky and I didn't like it. I'm not having that problem with this, even a little bit. This is like perfect. Hi, Sherry. Okay, I'm going to do the, yeah, when it's done, I hope it is. I hope. And that first square is kind of wonky because I did the shading on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to even have to use the water. We'll see. Ooh, this blue is so yummy. Baby blue. Ugh. Now I'm thinking I want to do the background of that blue rather than green. That blue is so yummy. I'm pretty sure it was the Artistro pens that were making the little balls and kind of digging into the paper a little bit. And of course, it could be those plastic nibs that they use. But yeah, I was not loving them at all. And so that was when I decided, I don't know if I ever should have recommended these because they're crappy. These are going down as smooth as alcohol markers, really. And that's the thing I love about alcohol markers is, you don't see any lines where you're coloring over or anything. It just lays down just as smooth. Another thing I like is that I didn't have to erase any of my pencil lines. The acrylic just covers them right up. For highlights and stuff like that, you cannot beat a paint pen, I swear. But I'm not sure how to use them for other applications, So if anybody has any brilliant ideas, unless I find out that something like this, that I can do some abstract sort of things with them. Now, Dee Dee said she uses them a lot in her collage. And her collage this morning was way fun. Way, way fun. I was surprised when she went to go put robots on with the women. Like, robots, what are you thinking? And then when it was all done, it was like, okay, that came out cool. Sometimes my imagination just isn't that great, apparently. These brush tips are awesome, too. I'm liking them, Dee Dee. You did good. And you could do this as colorful as you want. I might try one, just multiple colors. Use them like watercolors by putting them down on plastic. Well, yeah, that, Dee Dee, for sure. I'm just not used to working that fast, I'm slow. You're the one that does everything at the speed of light, Dee Dee. I swear, Dee Dee does everything at the speed of light. I bet she kicks her washing machine until it goes faster, too. You're not fast enough. I will definitely be trying that though, Dee Dee. And of course, I'll use them in the Beast, you know. One brick can have a butt. Oh, Raul, you're brilliant. It was way cool adding the robots, right? Should I put a butt on here? A hidden butt? Maybe in the center of the border at the bottom. That's the last thing you would add, though. You don't have to be real careful at this point, you know, because you're, what is that? Huh. That fall out. I don't know where that fell out of. Who knows? Yeah, but I like that I don't have to be real careful here. Of course, the cleanup at the end, I'll be whining about, but what the heck. And this week we have no appointments, no nothing. And it's only supposed to stay really icky cold for 2 days. So by the end of the week, Robert can be back outside again and life will be back to normal. All right, I think I'm going to do, well, I have all my spacing down there. Oh, no. I'm going to lose my spacing. I'll write it down real quick. See, that's it. I didn't even think about it. And I don't know how long these last, you guys. I'm going to stop and shake it real quick in the middle here. Hi, Sharon. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Glad you dropped by. Oh, and when you shake them back up, they get right back perfect juicy again. That's awesome. I hadn't thought about shaking them. Oh, and Dee Dee, I wanted to tell you, those things that Samantha, you showed that Samantha are making, those are awesome. I wish she could do them in bulk. I think she could sell a gazillion. You were sick? I'm glad you're better, Sharon. You just started a bowl? Good on you, Ange. Everybody needs a hobby or something to keep them busy. I swear to God, I don't care if it's reading, sewing, making bowls, hand stitching, coloring with acrylic. Everybody needs a hobby. Robert's hobby was always working, and that's taking a toll now. I wish he was more of a reader or did jigsaw. I don't care what it was, as if he would just have a hobby. So when he's stuck in the house, you know, he has something to look forward to do. He's been doing pretty good, staying busy on the computer. And I did give him, I bought him a new pack of Sharpies because he likes to doodle. And I had a typography coloring book. And I noticed the other day when I went down there that he had been messing with his Sharpies and his doodling book. So that made me feel good. And I don't care what it would cost if I could find something that I knew he just thoroughly enjoyed, other than buying lawnmowers. I'd spend a gazillion dollars keeping him busy and happy. Kind of like I do me. Spend a gazillion dollars on art supplies to keep me busy and happy. Okay, let me do one row below the border so we can kind of get a feel. Robert was never a woodworker. Of course, being a woodworker would be a pain too, because it would be out in the garage, which is not heated. She's selling them as, that doesn't surprise me even a little bit, Dee Dee. And her little body is so adorable when she's modeling them. I was just like, man, I remember when I could look that good. Not anymore, but yeah, she is an absolute cutie pie. That Boo. Yeah, we'll leave that. I haven't showed that to him, Belinda. I don't think he would like that, though, because the dangle book, you kind of have to look at the dangles and then copy it onto here. I'm not sure that would work for him. I mean, it's an idea, but I don't think that would work. He just has to come up with his own lines and circles and whatever. But as long as he's doing it and enjoying it, I don't care what he does. Yeah, man, these are just, they are wanting to puke out paint, you guys. And I hope this works out like I envision. Who knows? Of course, the white highlight, well, it should show up on these. On the lighter colors, what makes it so dramatic is the white highlight on the darker, more vibrant colors. But we'll see. They're fun to play with anyway. And the nice thing about the box they come in, I wasn't sure where I was going to put them. And Dee Dee was like, well, the box is like a little cubby. Just set it on top of your build. And I do have another little auxiliary build. And it turns out that it fits perfectly on top of that. So I'm going to have to move my crown, which I hate, but I'll find a place for the crown. And my little statue of the Queen, you know, and just some little junk that I was keeping on top of that build. But it's going to fit over there just perfectly. So I'm not sure where the Queen's going, but I'm sure there's somewhere in this room where the Queen will be happy. because the queens like to hang out together. Oh, and I have a tiara that I guess I'll just have to start wearing it all the time. I wonder what the people at Walmart would think if one day I came in there wearing my tiara. I'm going to move the crown. Yeah, the tiara has to find a new home. And I'm not putting it on the back of the toilet, Dee Dee. That's Dee Dee's solution for all of my storage problems. Store it on the back of your toilet. Where's the toilet paper going to go? I know this looks a mess, but believe me, it won't stay that way. You don't think they'd notice, Dee Dee? Well, true that, Starla. Yeah, I'd probably look better than a lot of people, but my Walmart isn't that bad. But you know, as odd as it is in this small community, I don't know that I've ever been in my Walmart that I've run into anybody that I know. Isn't that weird? And it's not like I know everybody because I don't. But yeah, I just think it's weird that I have never run in to anybody I know down at the Walmarts. And now I don't even go in. I had to go in the other day and pick up Robert's medicine, but yeah, and I convinced the doctor to give it to us for 3 months at a time so I won't have to be running in there every time I turn around. And you guys, with this pickup, I swear to God, I'm saving money because I'm not doing impulse shopping. And I'm probably saving like 30, 40 bucks a week just by not impulse shopping. Not that I've ever really kept track, but when I see, I know about how much I spend every week when I just go get the produce and milk and bread and those kinds of things. I really think I'm saving money doing this pickup. And my aggravation is way less. I'm driving through the parking lot laughing, singing, going, ha 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 ha, suckers. Oops, went over the line there. Cool thing about that is I can go right over it with the green and cover it right up. Yeah, baby. Oh, that one I was going to do purple. Oh, another thing I wanted to try is rather than using the darker color of the medium color that I chose, rather than do the shading with it, I was going to try it with some gray too. All right, I was going to do the border in the purple. Oh, these pop-ups. Hi, Ellen. Anybody who came in that I didn't see you coming in? I could pay for delivery, Dorothy. I just don't. But yeah, they tell me that every time I order them, because I do order them via text message, and they always offer, would you like us to deliver them? But I always know I'm going to be in town at least one day a week anyway, so why pay somebody to bring them out here when I know I'm going to be in town? And you probably live closer than I do, Dorothy. It's 20 to 24 miles out here, no matter which town I got them in. When I say I'm out in the middle of nowhere, like I'm not even hosing you. I think the day will come, though, where I'll maybe quit going into town altogether and have everything delivered and just quit going. I'm not there yet. My brother already gives me crap. Man, you're turning antisocial. I'm like, yep, I am. And there's nothing you can say that is going to make me feel bad about that. I've earned it. These are very nice, Dee Dee. Very nice. I like them a lot. It's nice to find a product that, works like it should. Haven't been in a grocery store since 2018, Kat. Ah. Sometimes I like going in. Like when we go up to Joplin, I do actually like going in the grocery stores up there. I can see things that are new, or, or try something that, yeah, I don't know. I do like that. And I like going in Sam's because after I go in there and spend $1 million, I reward myself with a hot dog. You've been so good today. Here's your hot dog. And I can't believe how cheap they've kept those hot dogs, because you get a hot dog and a drink for like $1.50. It's ridiculously cheap. I feel like I'm robbing them. And I don't do it because it's cheap. I really do it because I like them. The colors are really nice. Yeah. So far, there's no downside to these. Now, I don't know about the tips. This set didn't come with replacement tips like a lot of them do, but it doesn't seem like I'm affecting the tips at all. Now, I'm not pressing either. So, hot dogs. Yeah, I'm liking the colors, and I think I'll like it when all right, here's how I'll do this to keep my spacing, because I already measured it all out. Okay, that's line spacing. There's line 1. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've got it centered. Yeah. So now I can just paint right over that. You live about 10 miles and delivery is free. You guys are better than us. Good set of skin tones. Here, let's look at that. Christina, hi, if I didn't say hi already. I think there's some good colors. It's not a huge selection, mind you. I would call those probably the skin tones. That could be a skin tone. And then your browns are pretty limited. I will say that. Your brown skin tones are going to be pretty limited. But that could be a skin tone. So, yeah, I think you could work with them. And if you do like Dee Dee's suggesting, where if you color it off on something non-absorbent and use a paintbrush, where you could maybe make it lighter or darker, depending. Yeah, I think that could work just fine. All right, okay. Now, another option I have here, I am going to do the background, this whole area in here, I'm going to do the light blue, because this light blue is so flippin' lickable. And I'm pretty sure you can't do replacement, like you can't buy these individually. So I'm going to have to be really mindful not to use up all this light blue by next week. I'm just shaking it real quick. Keep the paint flowing because I'm using quite a bit of it. This is a pretty big area. There's enough moisture that it's warping the paper a little bit, not much. And I think after it dries, it will settle right back down. My treat when I do my online order is a prawn mayonnaise. They don't sell those in the States, and I'm sure there's a reason. Yeah, I have to say I've been really good with my online shopping. I'm not doing hardly any impulse, which is cool. Because I'm sure I have stuff in my cupboard that expired months ago that I bought on impulse. Another thing I'm doing because of the online shopping, I'm planning meals better and ingredients better. I definitely would say that. And I'm not sure why that is, because I'm usually sitting here at the table thinking, okay, what am I going to fix this week? And I can get up and look whether or not I have, something I may need to make something. So that is better. And I haven't, had to, well, I don't run out and get anything. If I don't have something I need, I just live without it. My lines still show a little bit, and that's okay. If I wanted them to disappear entirely, I think I could go over it again. Cat. Oh, gross, Dorothy. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan either. Cat. And it dries quick. I can put my hand right on top of it pretty quickly. Not immediately, but pretty darn quickly. I think I will go ahead and try and eliminate the line. And make it a little less apparent. I'm thinking that border, I might want to do it in a whole different color. I'm thinking. Oh, McDonald's coffee is delicious. Are you kidding? Yeah, any coffee at McDonald's, delicious. Is Joan taking off? Bye, Joan. Yeah, I'm thinking. All right, let's try some stuff here. On this one, I'm not going to water it down. I'm going to leave the hard line there. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. We're going to find out. We're just playing anyway. One thing about this is I know if I screw up, I can come back in with that lighter acrylic and clean it up very nicely. So I don't know. I may be a huge fan here. You missed one. I missed one. Where did I miss one? Be more specific, Terry. Oh, right here. I certainly did. Thank you, Terry. I think when it's all said and done, that would have been pretty apparent, but who knows? The shading goes much faster than coloring in those squares, obviously. Ruth, if you're still here, I got that stuff in the mail, so you should be getting it. Well, I sent it last Tuesday when we went to Joplin. So, no, they're not like Posca pens, and I don't know how to, I mean, the end product is like Posca. I mean, it's a permanent acrylic, but I'm not shaking it and having to juice it, you know, like you do with Poscas and other acrylic pens. Yeah, I don't know. But Ruth, yeah, watch your mail. You should be getting some mail. And I took it to the post office, so I was sure the postage and everything was right. So yeah, watch your mail. It went out last Tuesday. All right, so far I'm really happy. Now, something I have to decide is if I put the shadow on the top, it's going to make some of the blocks look recessed. You're welcome, Ruth. Or do I want them all pretty even? Let's do this one all even, and I'll show you how to do a recessed one later, if I end up loving this. Now on the blue, I don't know. I think I want to go maybe with a little bit darker. Let me see. The light was the 822 and the 601. All right, let me get 650 out and see. I love having all this selection, you guys. It just makes your life awesome. Because that is not very dark. Oh, this one's not much darker, but I think I'm going to like it better. Yeah, we're going with the darker. Okay, nice try. And I was kind of bummed when I went to the post office. I've had a girl that's worked up in my post office, I don't know. I honestly think since I moved here. And I always look forward, well, when I go to the Fairland post office. I always look forward when I go up to the Fairland post office that I'll get to see her and catch up. You know, her mom's been ill and just a few things. So the other day when I went in there, brand new girl, completely different person, never saw her before. I was like, oh, what happened to my girl? She'll only be filling in from now on. It's like, what? What? Oh. And I hope her mom's okay. I thought about it all day after that. It was just like, oh, I'll never find out, how her mom came out. Unless I happen to be in there one day when she's in filling in. But yeah, it sounds like maybe she's retired and only going to be there occasionally. And hopefully the new girl, I have to say she was efficient and very good. I didn't have any problem with her. I told her, make sure when you see her that I asked about her and missed the heck out of her. Not that I go to the post office that often that I miss anybody, but you get used to your peoples. I know it's hard to envision this, but hang with me and we'll see. I'm not sure. Well, I like to pull it toward me. You can make a real nice line with it, though I have to say, if you keep even pressure on it. Very easy to control there, so I like that. Don't want to put my hand in it while it's still wet, like I do with watercolor. I still haven't decided on that border yet. If I want to do it a whole different color to make it stand out, or if I want to do it in the purple. What do you guys think? Hi, Stacy May, Catitude Crafters. All right, let's see on the purple. Thanks, Ellen. Yeah, it's coming along. Shake these bad boys up. Purple. Okay, you guys are saying purple. All right. We'll get on the purple. Let's go ahead and do the light color first then, and it can be dry. I guess I just have to leave an indication because I'll come in and do the separating lines. All right, here we go. We're just going to do it like this. I'll come in and do the separating lines later. Speed this little process up a little bit. So next time I see you guys, I'll be a year older. Which means I'll be a year grumpier. We won't be doing anything special for my birthday either. I'll probably cook my own dinner. Well, it's Friday, so we'll have pizza for my dinner. Because I love me some pizza on Friday. I call Friday my day off because I just make us a pizza. And I start with a frozen one and add junk to it. So, yeah. So we'll have pizza for my birthday. And I used to make milkshakes until I decided I can't do the dairy. So Robert still gets a milkshake, but I don't. I think I'll be able to see those dividing lines well enough. I hope that I can keep them somewhat evenly spaced. And if I don't, who cares? Because it'll look like I meant it to be that way. I know this looks a mess. I think when I'm done, it won't look a mess. Keep your fingers crossed. Otherwise, you've just wasted a whole afternoon. But you got to hang out with cool people in the chat, so there's that. Barb's 28 plus shipping and handling. I am young at heart. All right, here we are. We have a good group. I will say that, Ellen, that of all the things, this group is pretty awesome. One thing I do notice when I'm looking down here, you can see in here indication of where I overcolored. I'm not going to worry about that, but if that's bothersome to you, I would let it dry real good and then just go over it the other way. I'm not going to worry about it for this, but let's see how the shadow purple color. I might want a darker purple color too. This one is 742. Let's see, we're 822. Let me see. I might want a darker purple. 742. I think I'm going to go with either 743. I think that one's too dark. 607. Let's try these. I do like that purple. That's very pretty. Which one did I think I liked better? We'll find out. No, that's too reddish. I don't like that one. I guess that's the one I'm going to do. All right. Not that much different than the one I had picked before, but a little bit darker, so that's good. I like that. Oops. It's fun to play with something new. Because I'm trying to think, what other product could you do something like this with? With such ease, and I can't think of anything. Definitely not watercolor. It's too fidgety. Colored pencil to me would be too slow. I can't think of another product that you could do this. Well, no, you can with alcohol markers. I've gotten where I very like. For the longest time, I just thought, why alcohol markers are so weird. I did not have any use for alcohol markers. Now I've gotten where I really, really enjoy them too. In fact, I'm looking at buying more, which I need, like I need a flipping hole in the head. So I haven't ordered them yet. Did I say hi, Missy? I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I guess I'll wait and see when I'm done how much time and effort I want to put in this. But I did start another notebook of finished art because of all those snark posters that I've been coloring. I didn't have a place for them, so they were just laying around everywhere. So I got another plastic cover and started my snark poster, which this will end up in there. All right. The amount of pressure you put on them definitely impacts how thick or thin your lines stay. So I hope I'm staying close to the sizes. I'm having a little difficulty seeing my lines. And I don't know if my eyes are just getting tired. It won't matter at the end of the day. Well, I guess it came out okay. I can feel my eyes getting a little lazy. Oops. And don't worry, when I goof up, most of that I am going to be able to fix. Hopefully all of it, but I'm going to say most of it. That I can fix. Now these are really hard to see. I guess there's a learning curve like anything else, you know? Like most of the products I use, if I have a drawing underneath, I'm able to see it, you know, reference it. But with opaque acrylic, yeah, different animal here. But doable, definitely doable. They all got a little smoother as I went along, I think. Use your brand new ruler and remark the lines. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to, Ruth, when it's all over. I actually could do that now, but I thought I would go ahead and do the lettering so you guys could see the lettering. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it back in. So I'm glad I okay. Oh, here's the lines. I was going to say, what in the world am I doing? That can't possibly be right. Oh, I used the edge. Okay. Now that is right. Okay. Whew. And I should be able to erase the lines. Did I use the edge? Oh, no, I've made a mark. Okay. Whew. Okay, so that's line 2, line 1. I think I measured that wrong. Erases perfectly. Okay, there's line 1. There's line 2. Does that make sense? Missed one halfway down, left side purple, left side. Terry, you are on it, girl. Terry is always on it, man. Thank you, Terry. Keeping me straight here. Okay. Let's draw ourselves some little lines here. And after the paint dries, I'll be able to go back in and erase these graphite lines with my new Graph Gear pen. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you guys in the head. All right, I thought for this, because remember, this is acrylic paint, and so you have to be really careful what products you use on top of it. Acrylic paint will ruin most pens. So I was thinking, because I originally was going to do it with a Sharpie, and I thought, no, this acrylic paint will kill that Sharpie in about a half a minute. So I got looking for a fine line, and I'm hoping this one will work. This is a brand new Artistro black pen, and they call it ultra fine line or something like that. Yeah, extra fine point. And I've had this one forever and have just not ever inked it up. So we'll see if we can get this bad boy working. If we can't, we're screwed. Look at that. Working like a champ. All right. So, and I'm going to use this handy dandy stencil. Now, one thing, I need to practice one letter before I put it down on here. I could paint over it probably, but I'd prefer not to wreck it if I can help it. I might have to put some tape on the bottom of the stencil so I don't smear the paint. But yep, see, it's going to smear. I thought that might be the case. So let's lift it up off the paper and see how that works. If it doesn't, I'm probably just screwed. And I have some thin tape here that I hope will work. But to keep that from happening, just lift your stencil up off the paper a little bit. Try and get it pretty close to the edge of the letter. And hopefully this tape will lift it up off just enough where the ink won't run down underneath the stencil. That's the plan anyway. It usually works. We'll see. And I probably won't leave the tape on after I'm done because I don't normally use a pen that's gonna run under. The only other thing I could do, well, I'll put some along the edge to lift it up that much more. Look at how much trouble I have to go through. But if you didn't know this tape trick, it's awesome. The thickness of washi tape is usually adequate to do it. Or masking tape is a little thick, but washi tape is awesome just to lift it up off. Is today's Brenda's birthday too? Okay, Brenda's birthday is Wednesday. Well, we've got a bunch of Scorpios in here. So happy birthday, November, babies. We are awesome people. Just go read about us. Well, maybe don't. Maybe I don't want you to know what it says about Scorpios. Secretive. And I think I am fairly accurate. Scorpio people. Okay, that works good. Let's try another one just so we're absolutely certain that we've solved our little problem here. I think if I'm careful, I can make that work. Keep your fingers crossed, you guys. But again, if I goof up, I can go back in with the magic acrylic pen, clean it up. So we're not going to worry too much. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to do the outlines of the letters and then go back in and fill them in. They'll dry quicker this way. Yeah, see that one I'll just clean up a little bit. That's fine. Probably should be cleaning off the back of the stencil so I don't start spreading paint all over the place, you know? You're not secretive, you're just very private. I think that's what I'm going to say from now on, too. But when they do talk about Scorpio traits, I think in my case, they're fairly accurate. Now, I haven't tried the end, so. Yeet. All right, yeah, I'm going to make this work. No apostrophe, so I have to draw my own. Not as clean as I would like it, but I think I can clean it up where I won't hate it. We'll see. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to let this dry really good. Try and clean it up, because I may end up doing something totally different. Excuse me. I just want to make sure that it's absolutely dry before I go in there and start dinking with it. Oh yeah, it's going to be fine. I wasn't sure if it was going to cover adequately, but it's going to, so I can work with this. These nice little tips make your world a lot better, you guys. I might have to go over it just a couple times, but it's going to be fine. What just fell off my lap? I don't know. It'll turn up, whatever it was. Oh, that one just goofed up. Not too bad. And I probably need to slow down. So I'm not smearing ink all over the place. It does dry really quick though. Terry's not doing this. Can barely do anything without Terry. Are you kidding? All right, where's the line? Right there. That'll be close enough for government work. That one boogered up a little bit, but not bad. I guess while I'm letting those dry, I can go ahead and fill these in. Yeah, that G needs some work. I wasn't sure how this was going to work, so I get extra bonus points for doing this online when I had no clue how it was going to work. But I wanted to play with my new pens. And these Artistro ones, you do have to shake them and prime them. More than, you don't have to on these hardly at all. They're awesome. Hi, BV Berry. I need to quit dinking around and get it done. Girl, get busy. But I want to at least get the highlights on so you guys kind of get an idea, and then I can do all the cleanup later. Give me something to do in the morning while I'm watching K-Berg on the day after her birthday. I didn't realize there were so many of us with birthdays this week. If you do the math, 9 months from right now, November 14th is my birthday. Wouldn't that be Valentine's Day? When everybody's all being in love and stuff? This was not a revelation that I just thought of. But it seems to me as though 11 minus 9 is Valentine's Day. It would be a lot easier if I did filling in with the stencil on it. You're so right, right? Yep, I know what the oldies were doing on Valentine's. Didn't get you roses, but I'll give you a retarded child you can raise for life. Here, take that. Poor thing. And I'm talking about me, so you're not messed up in the head enough yet, Ruth. I just hope they weren't parking out at the dump or something, like I don't know. Fact of life. If I was a singer, I'd sing the Fact of the Life song. I love crafting. My current project is making cross-stitch name tags. That's cool. BVB Barry. Drive-in movies. Isn't that the truth, Cat? I used to do a lot of cross-stitch. If you go to my Instagram, I've posted a couple of ones that I was particularly proud of, that I thought I did a really good job on. And I still to this day love very much. Now I don't, the only cross stitch that I have displayed in my house is the Christmas ones. But now that I don't do Christmas, well, I do Christmas. I just do oh no, an overly, shortened version of it. We pretend that we do Christmas around here. I can't believe Dee Dee's already talking about, oh, let's get the tree up. Let's do the lights. Let's don't and say we did. Thanks, Kat. Yeah, I've got a couple of my, what I consider to be particularly nice. Don't you worry about it, Terry Brett. If there's one thing I can do is I can fix goof ups. I am fabulous at fixing goof ups. I'm just going to hit it with a heat gun. I've had a lot of paint on there. Another thing, the Artistro paint has a sheen to it that this one does not, which I don't care for the lettering, but don't sweat that little booger there. We'll fix that right up. Come on, paint pen. You got a job to do. A lot of that's my fault, I think. I know if I use a light touch, keep the pen angle right, I'm not going to goof up, but I got that B too far apart. But I'm going to live with that. Right? There's one thing you can do is fix your goof ups. And mostly I was just wanting to play with my stuff. going to try and speed this up a little bit because I'm actually out of time and I'm going over. Exactly, Dee Dee. 92nd birthday. You get to have it because that is quite a milestone, Dorothy. I think anything after, really anything after 85, I think is kind of remarkable. Because I looked up the other day, average lifespan for, I think, men in the United States. I was actually looking up lifespans all over the world. And ours was like 76.4 or something. And men are different than women, obviously. But yeah, I think anything after 80 is remarkable. You should feel fortunate. I certainly wish my mother had lived to be even 80. You just never know. You've been very fortunate, Dorothy. Mostly because you got to meet us and hang out with us. Don't you think? You got such awesome, cool friends. I think any of us would be happy. Well, and another thing too, Dorothy, is you still have your mind. You're still able to do things you enjoy. I mean, you should be thanking your lucky stars hourly and be so grateful. Many, many, many are not that fortunate, Dorothy Gibbs. So you keep coming here so I can abuse you. Come on, pen. Well, I've got a little bit of cleanup, but so far I think I've been really lucky. I probably could have used a little bit thicker tape, but I think cleanup's going to be relatively easy. And remember, you didn't get this fabulous overnight, Dorothy. Took you 92 years. I will not be erasing my guidelines or anything on this until tomorrow. I will definitely give it ample chance to dry real well before I start smushing things around. Sharon, I know. I wasn't sure exactly how old you were, Sharon, but I knew that you also have beat the odds and have been very fortunate. So, congratulations to you guys, and I only hope I'm as fortunate for real. As long as I'm healthy, can do the things that I enjoy doing, that I don't end up in prison, that I don't hurt or maim anybody too severely. I'll feel like, yeah, if I just keep from killing people, I'll be successful. Little bit of mess there. I can make this work. I mean, even though Robert's having difficulty with his memory and stuff like that, you know, having cognitive issues, I feel like any day that he has a happy day, is eating good and doing something he loves doing, it's a success, you know? So, and with Robert, he's so damn healthy. I mean, he has the blood pressure of a teenager, I swear to God. But as long as you can, you know, live a happy life, go for it. All right, Barbara, go have a great week and good luck with those snow tires and the snow. What did I get on that? I'm glad I don't have, well, if we get snow, I'll be sad I don't have snow tires. Oh. Probably could have moved that over a little bit, but it'll be all right. All right, while that's drying, I'm going to work on this A a little bit. Might have to go over that a few little times until it straightens itself up. Dry it out real good. I'm getting the hang of it better, I think, you guys. I wasn't sure how this pen was going to work with the stencil, so. And I suppose I could have drawn it in pencil. In fact, if I had it to do again, I probably would go ahead and draw it out in pencil and then just color it in. But that's okay. Live and learn, you know? That's funny, Jay Weber. Hi, by the way. Don't fix the A. This is exactly how fabulous I am. The tape makes it a little harder for me to see. I think my eyes are just tired. And I have not made my eye appointment yet. I was going to try and get that done before Christmas. I think I'll call in the morning, because I can definitely tell a difference today. My eyes is very tired. My eyes. All right, I'm going to try something else. Just for giggles. I want that real dry. This is probably the way I should have done it. I'm going to go ahead and do these last few letters with a pencil and just color them in. Of course, the I is easy. And I could have had this done a half an hour ago. You guys are real troopers for hanging in there when I do stupid stuff, which is pretty often. See that G? Let's try and do a correction. I want that moved over. Yeah, that's the way I should have done it. Okay, don't do as I do, do as I say. But really, I'm not seeing. With my new graph gear. What's really funny about Dee Dee and Kat sending me these graph gear pencils, I'm so stubborn that I was not going to order another one, because I know that other one is around here. I know it is. I'm certain. So I was like, I'm not ordering another one. But that's the cool thing about having awesome friends that do it for you. But I was so stubborn. It's like, I'm not buying another one. But I sure am happy to have it. Do we have another two-person? Oh, take that. Now let's see if I can do this without screwing it up. I actually don't like filling these in after I've drawn them. That's why I usually just use a stencil and a pen where I can just color it in and then. But this acrylic thing, whole different ball of wax. But this is working good. So if I had to do it again, and I might, this is how I would do it. And then I'll do a couple of lines above so you can see how I'll finish it out. If you're watching this on replay, I hope you're going triple speed. I didn't get this fabulous overnight, you know. You know what, Kat? You're probably right. But the thing is, I'll quit looking. I mean, it'll just pop up one day. Hi, Judio. It'll just pop up one day. I am going to, of course, finish the bottom of this, but I'm just going to do this for speed. I'll probably be faster if I use a ruler. At least for the horizontals. Let's see. I'm going to use this. And see, I already have the tape on the ruler because I do this kind of junk so frequently that I know. Just leave the tape on there, goofball. I guess the combination of the Artistro fine liner and the awesome acrylic that Dee Dee sent. My page is curling. I'm not sure why, but anyway. And this, the last part is going to take a while where I have to round the corners, but you'll at least get an idea. Phone's going off. I want to get just enough of this done where you can see, hopefully this will be as dramatic as it is with alcohol markers. That line wasn't very straight. Okay, so I'll do go down the rest of the poster that way. You can kind of see that top line. Come off, lid. And I'll curve each of the corners. A few places I've spaced out. I think I got the rest of them. And I'll do just a couple on this row because I know you guys got to go have like a life. But the cleanup on this is going to be so much easier with the acrylic. I'm actually really happy about that. Would be nice if you don't have to use black, or if you'd use just like a gray or something. Yeah, it's like filling in mortar, exactly. hard to say, Dee Dee, not you. Thanks, Bev. Let me just check and see. Oh, it's my family. I'll be yakking at them. All right, now here's the dramatic part. Where did I put? There it is. And down here underneath, I will go ahead and shade this whole border part. Let me get the white. This is what makes this really pop. And I will be, I probably will post this on Instagram. And I'll probably do the border on the outside. I'll probably do it black, or I'll cut it out and mount it on some color. All right, don't fail me now. It's the white. And I don't know how well you guys can see. And obviously the darker the darker the color, the brighter the white is going to stand out on it. But I kind of like these pastel-y colors that we picked. And you can't really put the white on until the mortar's good and filled in, because then you can kind of see the depth. Can you guys see it? Like this one, is this? Nope, that's not the darker. So there you can kind of see how I'll go back and clean up. Like here where I've gotten a little carried away with the black. See, I wouldn't have to normally do this with the alcohol markers, but yeah, we hang out with the best people, Bev. BV Berry. I do need you, Terry. Don't go around making up stupid stuff like I don't need you. I absolutely need you. God, look at her chat saying stupid stuff. I think when it's done, it'll be awesomely fun. But yeah, like if I'd used darker colors, of course, if I'd used darker colors for the block colors, you wouldn't see the shading as much. But one thing I do want to try is like on this one, I'm just going to leave the harsh line where the shading is. But I am going to try doing the watercolor like Dee Dee suggested and make it blendy, more blendy. I think that'll be cool too. And I could try it on just a block or two on this one. There's no rule. And it's not like I'm making fine art over here. It's like I'm hanging out just dumbing through life. But I'm dumbing through life halfway decent. And I haven't hurt anybody today. So that's a good thing. And I wish I had something cooked for dinner, but I don't. I think I'm going to make ribs. Okay, there, I got another line done. Yeah, I like it so far. And it'll just take a little bit of cleanup is all. No big deal. I always, the very last thing I do on pretty much everything I do is clean up where my lines aren't straight. Usually I'm cleaning up where I put my hand in wet something because I'm famous for that. And this first one is where I use the water. But I think I'm going to put a harsh line on that one and not mess with that. Another thing I want to try is this paper that I'm working on is just mixed media grade paper. Nothing special. But I think I would like to try these acrylics on like a marker paper, which has a smoother surface. I'm just curious how they'll work on that. But you kind of see now how I'll go through. And this lighting, you can't see the colors even remotely close. Why is that? What the hell is wrong around here? Let me see if turning off these. Okay, there. You know what? These lights might be messing with me. Now I'm totally in the dark. But you can at least see it. Well, maybe not. What the heck is going on with the color around here? Look at that, you guys. I wonder if you can see what I'm seeing. That fine detail throughout the pattern seems so eye-straining for me. It is sometimes, Belinda. Yeah. Yeah, the colors are, let me just try this. Okay, this is just my desk lamp. Maybe I'll just start arting with my desk lamp rather than these camera lamps. Because that's still not accurate, but it's a little bit better than what you were seeing. And then if I let sunlight in, I know things get really wonky. So I keep the sunlight out and try and use artificial light. But the color still looks peak green and white. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But I'll try and get a fairly accurate picture. Maybe it's time for a new camera. I don't know. Does a dent or scrape make it unusable? Seems like it would add character. Did you get something that was damaged, View? Anyway, yeah, when you get the highlight on, see how the contrast in the curved corner makes it look like it's stones placed in there, which I love. I love that look. Okay. Anyway, all right, you guys, I will continue working on this. Do some little bit more cleanup. But yeah, I'm going to have to figure out the coloring on this camera because that's horrible. I wasn't paying enough attention to notice that you guys were not seeing anywhere remotely close to what colors I was actually using. See, now I'll just start dinking around. I'll be here the rest of the night dinking around here, straightening up this, fixing that. Devin, I told the other, well, I couldn't remember who all I mailed to, but I know I did get your Happy Mail out on Tuesday. So be watching. because you got some mail coming. I want that G fixed for sure. I gotta fix that too. All right. I'm going to call it a day, you guys, and I know your time is really valuable, and I so appreciate you spending at least a little bit of it with me. And Dee Dee, thank you so much for these awesome markers. I love them, and I'm sure as I get more proficient, I won't have as many problems. So go out and enjoy your day and the rest of your week. Yeah, because I use a stencil, Devin. I cheat like hell. Are you kidding? That's a stencil. Are you kidding me? Anyway, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Go try something fun. Later, Gators.